Now, what happens also opens up a spiritual realm, because here, notice what happened. It begins when Paul casts out this demonic spirit. That's a victory. But notice, so now the enemy is counter-striking. You see that, so sometimes there's victory, but be careful, don't get proud, don't get lax, because the enemy doesn't like victories. But that's okay, don't fear it. And don't live on the defensive, live on the offensive. It's still better to get a backlash and have victory than have no backlash and no victory. In India, we went to India, and when I went to India, it was the greatest warfare I've ever witnessed between the enemy, God, in the spiritual and on the earth. I won't go into all of it, the most dangerous trip I ever did. But at the end of it, we saw about 70,000 Indians pray to dedicate their lives to Jesus. And we're having a celebration at the end of it, a Thanksgiving, a prayer, Thanksgiving, feast and banquet. And I'm about to pray, where there's these long tables, and I'm about to pray. And as I'm about to pray, the one who it was an ex-policeman who came to be my bodyguard and was used of the Lord. At that moment, he's like thrown back onto the table. The table crashes. He's having a seizure. He never had a seizure in his life. And I mean, it was scary. It looked like he was going to die. And we prayed and prayed. And it ended up, he came back to America, and he went to the doctor. There was no trace of anything. But just at that point, we are in a real spiritual battle. Now, the enemy is upset first about that he lost this woman. And now he gets the masters, who are dark people. They have a slave, and they're exploiting her for her occult gift. Now he uses them. He'll use anybody. He uses them, and he brings them to the governor, magistrate, and then he uses him. And then it says the mob. It says verse 22, the crowd joined in the attack against them. And the chief magistrates tore their robes off them and proceeded to order them to be beaten with rods. When they struck them with many blows, they threw them into prison, commanding the jailer, guard them securely. And he, having received such a command, threw them into the inner prison, fastened their feet in chains. See, the crowd, sometimes we think that the crowd is always right. The majority is not always right. Sometimes they're totally wrong. You cannot follow a crowd. The crowd hailed Jesus coming in, hailed Messiah coming in to Jerusalem, and then crucified him. Forget the crowd. It doesn't matter. Don't ever try to fit into the majority, because most of the time the majority is wrong. You and God is all enough. That's all you need. So it says they struck them many times, wounded them. Strokes, the word in Greek. When Richard Wurmbrand, great believer of the Lord, who was in prison for his faith in communist Romania, he came here near the end of his life, and he spoke, not at this building, the other building. He was 84 years old at the time he first came. And he ministering, and he had just had a stroke. And the doctor said, you cannot minister anymore. You're 84, you just had a stroke. He said, a stroke? He said, I was in prison, I had 39 strokes, and that didn't stop me. I'm not going to let one stroke stop me. Paul and Silas are beaten repeatedly with rods, thrown into jail, into the innermost thing. So it's dark, dismal. You want to do God's will, you got to be willing to pay a price. But it's worth it. It is glorious. You got one life. Go for the best. Embrace it. Embrace the prize. Embrace it. Embrace the honor of standing up for God even when everyone is against you. Embrace it. Hi, I'm Jonathan Cahn, and I hope you were blessed with the video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and tap the bell icon so you're notified every time a new video is posted. Feel free to share your reactions with your comments and how you were blessed, and share this video with your friends. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.